done so, hit that subscribe button and give the video a like and ring the little bell when you've watched it. But I'm Farmer Will Meller, and in today's video we are just giving the heifers a bail. So I'm not going to bore you with feeding the heifers too much, but that isn't the purpose of this video. The purpose is, it's now raining and it won't stop raining. Every day for the next 2 weeks it has given heavy rain. Now I know I've moaned a bit through the summer saying, oh, it's too dry, we need rain. Well, the rain's come at the wrong point in time now. We could actually do with it staying dry, because if not, we're going to be in for one hell of a long winter, and as we all well know, forage stocks are not looking good. So we'll go down to the heifers and I'll get some clips on how wet the ground is, because we are causing some damage now. This is not good. We are causing soil damage. You know, it's not, I can't avoid, you know, I can't do anything other than cause soil damage now. That is purely because these heifers need some food of some sort, but I don't want to bring them in because it's, you know, it's only, today's the 15th of September, so it's the middle of September. I've never bought heifers in this early before. I've bought them in at the end of October before. I've bought the odd one back that's smaller, you know, smaller than the rest. Bought them in before a bit earlier, but as a group I've never bought the whole lot in this early. So I want to keep them out because the cost of feeding them, because even though I am giving them a bale, they'd probably eat 2 bales every day if they were inside. And secondly, I'd have to bed them out and muck them out and basically create a whole lot of work. But I think tomorrow's giving it a bit better day than today. So yesterday and today have been heavy downpours, heavy rain, literally non-stop. Been on and off a little bit today, but probably nowhere near as bad as yesterday. But it has rained a lot in the last 48 hours, and I could really do with stopping raining, but it ain't going to. But before anyone says, oh, he's a farmer, you know, stop moaning about it, get on with it. I am getting on with it. That's not the purpose of this YouTube channel. The purpose is I'm trying to show you, document what's actually happening with the weather, because you'll see in a minute when we get to these heifers how wet the ground is with them. So you can see that's how wet and boggy it is. It's never good, that. I'll move them feeders tomorrow, so when I corn them they'll be on a bit fresher ground. But I've moved the ring feeder onto a fresh bit of ground. They're all just trying to gorge on that bale. They're that desperate for food green a bit. You can see the fields greening up. So there is food for them. That's why they're only eating about 1 bale a day, whereas if they were inside, they'd probably eat 2. But the ground is just so wet now. So, like I said, bear with me while I get in my JCB. You can see the rain coming there in the distance. I'm not sure you can make it out. It's like mist coming towards me. So I've got to get back before that. Do you think I will? So the milk cows are in at night now, like I say. So the ground is just so wet. They don't really want to go out anymore. They don't really want to go out in the daytime, to be totally honest with you. I think they'd rather stay in, but the fact we haven't got enough fodder, winter feed for them, that means they'll have to go out no matter what. So that has affected the milk yield quite badly. And the fact that we're still feeding last year's silage, which probably isn't as good, because there's so little of this year's winter forage, means milk's suffering quite badly. We're down, if I put a percent on, I'd probably say about 20% on milk yield. 20 to 25% down on where it should be on this time last year, and purely because there isn't as much grass. We've still got some fields shut up for silaging. If the weather stays like this, that's going to make a very interesting situation on trying to get that off the field. But I have heard a rumour we've got an area of high pressure coming for the end of September, beginning of October, which will be good because it means we can get second and third cut off. Apart from that, we'll catch up tomorrow and we'll have a look at the milk cows inside at night. But on a plus side, if it does stay like this, it would make some very interesting YouTube content on silage. I don't think I'd rather that. I think I'd rather have some nice quality dry second and third cut silage rather than wet third cut and making ruts and all a mess. But hey ho, one of them. Well, anyway, we'll catch up tomorrow when we have a look at the milk cows. Right, so welcome back everyone. And this is actually 2 days later. So this is the 17th today of September. And what have we got? Cows inside. So these are actually dry calving cows. They're normally out in the field, but instead they're inside eating. And if we go in here, in cubicles as well. I mean, they're fairly happy. They're not, apart from a couple that are bawling, they're not unhappy. That's the important thing to just make out. I think they'd rather be in and eating silage. We have tried to turn them out in a day yesterday. So they've had 3 nights in now. No, actually this is their 4th night. So they're on night number 4 being inside at night. They've had 3 days out, and then today they've just stayed in all day because it started raining last night. And it's virtually never stopped. It's just carried on raining. So that's one part of the problem we've got now. The dry cows are in. It's probably just springing up like that one there. Starting to spring to calve, which in theory they would actually do better having some silage, some food. I would prefer to carve them outside though in a field, because I think personally, you know, if it's it's just quite warm today, to be honest. And calves generally do better if they're born outside. Well, I find they do anyway. Just because it's a cleaner environment. I mean, inside a shed, you can't clean a shed the way a field's kept clean, if that makes sense. But I'll just climb over the gate, if I can do it. And we're now in with the milk cows. So the milk cows have also been in for 4 nights. Apart from that one there that's new calved, and this white-headed one there, they seem fairly happy. they're only unhappy because they've calved and they've had the calves taken off them. But apart from that, so they're in the cubicles there. In theory, tonight it's quite a nice night. This is the best night they've actually had. And maybe, you know, they could have perhaps gone out at night tonight, but the ground is that wet. I think they benefit from being inside. But they've got 3 ring feeders, and they've had, what have they had? They've had 7 bales today, the milk cows. 7. That's terrible, isn't it? No, they've actually had 8. They've had 8 bales of silage today, the milk cows. So they had 3 first thing this morning, they had 2 after dinner, and then they've had another 2. No, that's 7, isn't it? It's not 8. So they had 3 first thing this morning, 2 after dinner, and 2 more tonight after milking. So in theory they could possibly do more feed rings, but they did go out today, but it rained that much today. I think we must have had an inch of rain. So we've had probably an inch of rain in the past 12 hours, easy, if not more. I'll just spin around, you can have a look at the field. So there is another ring feeder here. That's the state of the field, it's not great. And that's just purely because it's rained and rained and rained and never stopped raining. Look at the dry cow field. That's not great, is it? So this is part of the problem of it becoming too wet too soon. I would like it to, if I had my own way, I'd like it to actually stop raining now. You know, we should have had this rain that we're getting now, we should have had it back in May. I would have, you know, would have paid money to have that happen, because now it's costing dearly, because we had less grass growth in the summer, and now we're having to, so we had to feed winter feeds during the summer months, and now we're having to feed it more now because the cows can't go out to grass, it's so wet. They'd actually, I think they'll milk better if they were inside. No, for a matter of fact, I would know they would milk better if they were inside, just purely because the grass, the quality of that's gone south quick, because it's that wet. You need to eat more with every mouthful to get the same intake, if that makes sense. But yeah, I hope they enjoyed this little bit of a update video. So, you all happy? There's 1 ring feeder. We've got 2 more. There's 2 there that they're eating from. So I've got 3. Could probably do 1 more really, but have you come to say hello? I think they're all fed up of this weather. So it's given the weather really wet like this for the next 2 weeks at least. So it's given wet weather like this for the next 2 weeks at least. So the cows are going to be in at night. If that is going to be the case, they're going to be in at night for the next 2 weeks, no matter what. I'm going to try and push to keep getting them out in the day. But at the minute, they don't really want to go out. Which, to be honest, I don't really blame them. But what can we do? We're short on winter feed, and now we're having to feed it more because the cows are having to stay in because the ground has just started raining and it hasn't stopped. I mean, it's going to make, like I said the other day, it's going to make doing the 3rd court quite interesting, because we've got that to do in probably like 3 or 4 weeks' time. But yeah, anyway, hope you've enjoyed this little update video on how wet things have been, on the weather, because it really, sorry for scaring you, love. It really has such a detrimental impact on farming, and if it were dry, if this rain hadn't come, they'd be outside in the fields behind me over there. But because it has rained, they're not. They're inside. So yeah, that's nice, isn't it? But I'm sorry. Hey, it's you. This is the one that keeps falling. Hello. You want your calf back, don't you? Yeah. Well, not really. I want my baby. Well, you'll get over it later. But anyway, if you've liked the video, please get a thumbs up, subscribe below, and I'll see you all in the next one. But for now, cows are now in at night. For the foreseeable. If it comes dry, they will go back out at night, but it doesn't look like that's happening for a little while.